Hello, everyone. Oh, this is such a horrible platform. When you click off music, it should turn on the mic, but for some reason, it turns you off. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a beautiful Thursday wherever you are. I think most of us are already here. I hope so. Let's see over here. We're waiting for some more people, but while we wait for them, let's start with a greeting over here. Again, I am RC from Karen Labs, your dedicated market maker or liquidity provider since 2018, guys. So if you don't know who we are, check out our spaces over here on Twitter at Karen Labs and also our website, karenlabs.com. If you have any questions, please do ping us at any of our official platforms. I hope everyone's doing great, actually. The market is not it's very bearish actually. I feel like we are back from last year's, I would say, almost yes, I see your sad face over there. Yeah, I feel like we're back to last year basically. BTC is testing key support for 58, 59K. Will be a bigger downside if this support is actually broken, so we actually need to watch out for that in the coming weeks. Right now we're just focusing basically and waiting if this market is going to get any better and eventually go into a beautiful summer for every one of us. But before I do, here's a small reminder for those who are new here and who wants to start their introductions. Please do not chill and keep your introductions under 30 seconds if possible. All right, thank you guys. And let's start with Investor Brand. You go ahead.
Hi everyone. Yeah, thanks again for having me. I do ecosystem growth for City Network, and City Network is a decentralized data cloud. So basically, we provide fast, secure, and very affordable storage, and also a very competitive content delivery network. Short and concise.
Short and sweet, maybe too short, but thank you for the introduction. Next one would be Chris. MC2, go ahead.
Hey guys, this is Chris from MC Finance. I'm investor in the crypto space since about 4 years already and helped several projects. Currently, we are building our own startup, MC Finance, where we help you analyze, discuss, and invest in Web3. We treat a wallet basically like an investment strategy and give you all the analytics and insights like a hedge fund manager would have on his screens, help you discuss it with on-chain verified trading so you can be sure that all our KOLs actually did the trades, that the advertising, and help you then adapt your portfolio in an intent-driven way where you can like select your tokens like Shopify and then with a single transaction deploy multiple tokens on multiple chains.
Amazing for that. Thank you so much. I just choked on my coffee, but thanks for the intro. And Rami, you're up next. Go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Rami. I'm the marketing lead and client integration of XP Network. XP Network is a multi-chain NFT bridge. We currently support 30 blockchains, EVM and non-EVM, and happy to meet you all and happy to connect.
Who's next?
I think I thought I was mic. This mic is on. Anyway, thank you for the introduction, Rami. And I think we're still waiting for a couple of people to come in. A lot of them are a little bit late, but let's not wait enough. We can kind of start off with the discussion, I guess. I want to keep this, I would say, just kind of like a touch base, right? We saw the market. I honestly have never seen a market like this before. We're supposed to be entering the bull run, but now it feels like it's going lower and lower with BTC almost 58K. Oh, not almost 58K already. And this year we are again, expecting supposedly a good year as it is the halving year, but the summer is not starting that hot actually. Do you guys believe the market will pick up anytime soon, or what are your thoughts about that actually? Go ahead, Chris.
Thanks. Actually, I think it's expected. If you look at the last bull runs, then always after the halving, you have a phase where the market goes down, where it's like accumulating than further power. And I think that's exactly where we are in now. Because due to the ETFs from Bitcoin in January, we had a surprisingly great start into the year, which was like an outlier. And I think now we just see the correction of the same thing happening before probably like autumn or end of the year, we are seeing it picking it up. So the question is, can the Ethereum ETFs now actually change the market and turn it into an early bull run? Or is it, as a lot of people expect, rather a end of the year, early next year that the actual bull run will hit?
But what do you think? Because in my my personal opinion is that, since we had a great start of the year around March, was it, and April, I feel like this came out pretty high and already receiving a lot of like concerns that perhaps that's like the peak, but I'm pretty sure not yet. But it also arrived pretty much early, so I also think that the bull or that super banana green, I would say, is gonna come up earlier on as well. Don't you think it's gonna be around, this year or early on last week? My prediction is gonna be December, pretty much mid-December perhaps. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Investor Brent, you were raising your hand. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, I thought Adam was first, but it seems like he left. um, yeah, I think it is normal if you have such a good run up that you have a little kick down. I think there were also the influences of the traditional market coming in. We have to keep an eye on that as well, and some expectations from that angle that we didn't have in the last cycle. And then when it comes to the halving year, if I remember correctly, even in 2020, it was not that we had the halving and then went straight up, right? I think the summer for Bitcoin was still pretty boring. Not too much happening. There were some movements, but we only shot up by the end of the year. And of course, that might give the space and room for people who are still in the market and they are a bit bored on the bigger coins. They might start playing with the altcoins, and that's of course what we saw, I guess, with DeFi summer in the last cycle. That suddenly capital was flowing into a new narrative back then, and that gave a lot of action there. So I'm hoping, and I think a lot of people are still hoping for that to happen this summer. Bitcoin has set the pace definitely in the past few months and got all the attention, and now we're anxiously waiting for the altcoins to move again, because a lot of the altcoins, they just got butchered all the way back down to the prices of September and October last year. So yeah, don't know if that's going to happen, but the market can turn fast, of course.
But it seems the how do you call it? The meme coins are, some of it are still moving nowadays, basically, and it is also quite of concern that perhaps this might also be the last time that meme coins are going to be picking up. Perhaps, with almost Bitcoin and ETF and ETF becoming saturated later on. Do you think that's going to be a case or not, Investor Brent? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll quickly answer, and then I see that Adam is back, and then you can give him the mic. So I do think there is still a cycle, the cycling of money in place. It's not following the typical little infographic that we always used to share on Twitter and on socials, where you have from BTC to big caps, to mid caps, to small caps. Now we see indeed that these gamble coins, these meme coins, they're turning it upside down, which is fine, right? But you still have the situation where you see BTC leading the market. If BTC crashes, everything crashes. There's no real change in that. And then when people get bored, they will start putting money into the next shiny thing. And right now that's meme coins, and maybe tomorrow it's something else.
Before we proceed, and thank you for that, Investor Brent, I think we just got two people coming and hopping up late. So, Divamon and Adam, would you do us the authors of like introducing yourself, please?
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
sorry, you go first, Adam. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so unfortunately, I was in here at the beginning, and I raised my hand, and nobody saw me, and I cried a little bit. So ex co-host is awesome, and informed me that I was not visible and I should leave and come back. So appreciate ex co-host, always awesome, keeping things moving smoothly. So little 30-second intro for me. Got into space 2017. Heard about it while I was working, and somebody said, "Hey, you heard about this crazy internet money?" Did some research, went in, bought Ethereum around $200 back in 2017. I was in the peak of a bull market, so I thought that's how crypto was, is just going up forever. And then I got the realization that that's not how it works, and it crashes. And when it crashes hard for like 3 years. So imagine my standpoint when I'm like, oh man, this is awesome, I'm going to be able to retire, and then boom, 3 years of nothing and just downturn. But it's a good wake up call, and it's great that I experienced that and kind of see it. If I can I kind of put my 2 cents in on the topic, or do you want Devamon to go first with his intro?
Thank you so much, Divamon. And that's in line. Go ahead. You there, Divamon? Oh, he's back to listener. Let's go and from it up. But anyway, Adam, that was so interesting. I think with what your past lessons are, right? Do you think what are you gonna do different this time? I feel like last time everyone was just so bullish, they just keep buying, and then when it went all up, like, oh, it's gonna go even more higher. Let's do this. Oh, it's gonna go even more higher, and then you never banked on it, and then it went all the way down for like 3 years. But now I hope something is different. I hope we learned our lesson then. And what would be
Oh,
that lesson actually?
I wish I could say I learned after that 2017 bull market, and I was like, I thought I would get lessons learned from that, and then come 2021, that bull market, I'm like, okay, we're going to 100K. That's when I'm gonna sell my stuff at 100K, and then all we see is 69, and I'm like, oh no, not again. So then 3 more years that I'm waiting, but this time. Third time's the charm, right? That's the saying, right? So the biggest difference that I'm doing this cycle is like last two cycles I was waiting, right? I was waiting for that blow off top, and it did eventually happen. But I was convinced it was going to go higher. So this round, I'm definitely going to be tapering out percentage wise based off of like a time period versus a price target. So I'm just going to say, hey, typical bull market top is around 12 to 16 months after a Bitcoin halving. So I'm going to use that as like a timeline more or less. And 6 months out, I'm going to take a little bit of profit. 8 months out, a little bit more. And that's kind of how I'm going to do this cycle. And sure, I'm probably going to miss that big blow off top, but at least I'll have locked in profits up until that point. So that's kind of, we'll see if I follow it this time, or if I get sucked back into the euphoria again. But that's kind of my goal.
That's gonna be your second retirement plan in the span of a few years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Divamon, go ahead and give us your intro, please, sir.
Hey, great topic, RC. Always good to be here. So I'm Niz, co-founder and managing partner at Saguni Studios, which is the studio behind the development and creation of Divamon, which is an anime brand which fits right into the entertainment space. We've got lots of things really fitted into it, but it spans across Web3, gaming, anime, entertainment broadly speaking. Our game Callisto is available on iOS and Android and can be downloaded and played today. We've also got a quick fun Telegram tap game which people can play and to have a go on, which coincidentally loops you straight back into Callisto. It's one of the actually Callisto. One thing worth noting, it's really cool. It's kind of gives you Digimon, Pokemon type vibes and feel, with a sprinkle of other known brands within the anime and gaming space. I think Genshin, League of Legends, Diablo. Fast paced, but also quite cool and involved, and yeah, we'd love people to come and play.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I lost you for a second there. I can hear you now.
Thanks so much. Yeah, sorry for that. Twitter is such a horrible platform for these things. But I was asking you, what is your retirement plan for this coming cycle? Because everything is down now. Adam has his 6 months plan coming in. So actually curious what your strategy is, considering that everything is pretty much down low at the moment.
Personally, tongue in cheek, I'm just going to dump everything into shitcoins. Something will pop. That's basically the devil speaking to me. But the sensible me is saying, I keep some powder aside. No one can catch the absolute bottom unless you've got a crystal ball. But BTFD, as they say, and it's eventually going to go up at some point. It's just, as always, put in what you can afford to lose. I'm scalping. I'm keeping an eye out for opportunities. I've got some real kind of low end buy orders ready to fill. When they do, I'll be happy, and just wait for it to ride up. And I've got a plan in my head. I've seen three. I've seen 2017, 21, and here we are today. So as I think Adam was speaking before, you kind of learn the lesson, learn to don't believe the hype too much. So I'll have an exit strategy, but let's see if I stick to it. Okay, I might. Oh, sorry, it's not watershed time. It's still quite early. Sod it. Let's. I might just go all in, but let's see. I'm not going to commit because I might come back on this time next year and say, shit, I'm broke. I lost it all.
That's kind of like all of us right now.
Exactly.
I'm looking at my portfolio and wondering what did I do in life that's so bad to be punished like this.
Yeah, I've literally lost about 40% overnight. I'm not even joking. But thankfully, I've kept.
Rough.
I say 40%. The thing is that the 40% that's there is probably is stable. So I'll keep watching and keep buying. Just with everything, right? Just don't put in what you can't afford to lose. I can't stress that enough to the listeners here. If you're going to go for a shit coin, just know it's a shit coin. But diversify as well, right? It's have some fun along the way, and patience. That's probably my biggest lesson from the last two bull runs is have absolute and complete patience. Because when you don't have patience, that's really where you kind of miss out on all the fun.
Absolutely. It's kind of like similar with me. Before I go to the next question, I want to go and invite UNKJD to have his introduction. He just joined us a few seconds ago. You can go ahead, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me here. This is King Snooch behind the Uncaged account. We're a team of gaming enthusiasts from Playtika, Cody, Azuki, and Disney, all about crafting fun, unique games. First game, Uncaged Soccer, mixes sports, RPG, strategy, and board game fun. We're excited to be pushing the boundaries in mobile gaming and Web3. Let's go.
Thank you so much. That's pretty much it for us all of here, right? All the speakers are here. Okay, go. Let's go ahead. So actually, my question.
I think that Fanletu, did he do the introduction?
Fanlet one, you want to do that? Hello. I think he was, because on me he is not speaker. On my end he's a listener. I think it's an issue. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and see here. We did know that we have quite of like called a DeFi summer, right? Like a few years ago. So my question is, which category do you think will be leading? Or perhaps if we're going to have even a good summer, is it going to be again DeFi? Actually, we're seeing a lot of like AI into the market as well, and then RWA. We had a few discussion with my friend of mine about that perhaps the market is just oversaturated with the recently launched tokens. And was it you, Investor Bren? And then we're looking into it that perhaps this is also one of the reasons why this summer is not going as well as we all hoped. So I guess my question for that is, if it does go well, what would be the narrative we should be expecting or kind of be looking at personally in which portfolio you have been investing in? Because right now it's the perfect time to invest for that, right? So, Adam, do you have anything to say? Go ahead.
Yeah. So as far as which category, I'm of course biased on gaming, crypto gaming. Um, the meme coin is, those are great. It has a great community, great following. People get in, make a ton of money super quick. But the issue is typically they're not going to stick around, right? They're gonna come in, make their money, get out, move on to the next thing. And still they're in the, I guess, the category of meme coins, which is great. They've got their own community, nothing against them. I really think that, say we do end up popping off, I think $100,000 Bitcoin is really the eye popping, eye watering target that once we hit that, triple digit Bitcoin, like 100K, that just looks good. You're going to see it in ads, and it's really going to drive people who aren't in crypto to crypto. And when those people get in and they start thinking about different things they could do within crypto, I doubt that those people who have never been in crypto are going to get in and just like instantly start buying into meme coins, because the act of buying those, you kind of have to be in the know, and you kind of have to know like what to look for. Something that will resonate easier with these new people within crypto that find out about it just because we're in a Bitcoin bull market, they're going to be able to resonate easier with gaming, in my opinion. It is something that they do currently, possibly. Maybe they play their games and they say, hey, I can go on crypto and start playing some games. It transfers, right, from Web 2 to Web 3. It's something they're familiar with. So I really think that this new push and all of these new users into crypto is really going to drive a lot of that activity towards crypto gaming. So that's kind of my take on it.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here because in my head, right now, the reason we're pretty much low is because we don't really get that much retail coming in. We don't have those investments coming in right now, and pretty much maybe because, as you have mentioned, we haven't really gotten that 100K BTC yet, right? But in my case, I believe that even though gaming, if you think gaming is going to be the next big thing, I still believe that a lot of people, when they look at into investing tokens, they just look at charts, right? They're not gonna go like, oh, I'm gonna try this. This token is performing well. I'm gonna go play this game because, well, the token is really performing well or bad or anything like that. Like, do you think that's the first thing they're going to look at? Like, oh, which game I'm gonna play in, and then which game I'm gonna invest myself in? Or in my opinion, or in my case, I actually just look at the chart and then, okay, this token is performing. I want in it on it, and then the last piece of my mind is actually about the game itself. So
Yeah,
so
I see that. Sorry, go ahead. Finish
yeah,
up.
so my point is, it's just that I think, like, with your point about, people coming in and then they start playing games and that's a chunk of it's coming from that. I don't think so, actually. I just think it's going to be coming from those people wanting to experiment and trying to see which chart looks better and which chart is going to they're going to bet their money on, right?
Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, these new people coming in, the first thing they're going to do isn't going to be, let me go play some games. They're going to probably look at the charts and play the big plays, some of the top 10 currencies, definitely. No question there, no argument there. But when some of these new people start buying some of these big tokens like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're not going to really be moving those markets very much. Those markets are very well established. The price will go up, but I don't think you'll see that many multiples in those markets. I guess the biggest movers, in my opinion, could potentially be gaming, because they are so low at this point, and any little influx of liquidity will really make those move. And what that in turn is going to do is make those charts look really good and could potentially bring on even more people. So I guess that's my take on the movement of prices in those.
Okay, makes sense, actually. Yeah, that actually is possible. Uncaged, do you have a comment on that?
Yeah, I'm going to completely agree with him. I think the gaming narrative is going to take over. And I think a bigger reason why is we're finally getting to the stage where finished games are coming out, and you're starting to see some better developed games finally hit the market. where like last year, you know, there wasn't many playable actual fun games, and you're starting to see a lot more of them come out of the woodworks and have playable games that people are going to start resonating with. And you're going to start seeing content creators, you know, doing streams on YouTube on these games. And then what's going to happen next is you're going to start getting gamers who are going to start thinking, oh, wow, this game actually looks pretty cool. I want to go check it out. And then you're going to start seeing more and more people onboarding from Web 2. And that's what we've been lacking for the past, 2-3 years is, we call it mass adoption, but just adoption in general. We haven't been really bringing gamers into the space. We've been bringing a bunch of traders and people who are investing and looking to make, a profit, but we haven't really been catering to the gamers. And I think now with a lot of these games that are coming out that are, if not fully developed, pretty damn close to fully developed, and they're actually coming out this year, like towards the end of the year, I think you're going to start seeing a major shift. All these people are holding all this money in the meme coins. They're just waiting. They're holding their money there and gambling around and messing with their money, but they're just waiting for good games to actually go into and play.
Makes sense. Investor Bren, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I think what you said earlier definitely plays as well. And when we look at games now, they're all focused on giving tokens to the gamers, which of course makes it less interesting for the regular degen investor, because you got to play and they're incentivizing to play. So that definitely has changed. I also would like to take the perspective of how many gamers that play Call of Duty actually buy the Activision stock, or how many gamers actually buy the stock from Electronic Arts. Not much. So the people investing in the project are not necessarily the players. So if we're going to go the traditional route and we want to prevent people just buying the token for just for the money gain, which is what we're trying to avoid, then I think we'll have a delayed effect, meaning that we'll get more players, genuine players, into the gaming ecosystems, which is great, which will then lead to people actually using the underlying infrastructure and technology, which again is great. And then these gaming projects and studios will have the numbers to say, hey, we actually have real users, we actually have a business case, we're actually making money with this game. And then the investor type of person will hopefully use their brain and say, hey, this is actually a good thing, and let's buy the token. So I hope we're going to evolve to that. But for that reason, I think the effect of gaming and the big pump might be delayed.
And Cage, your turn.
Yeah, just to touch on what you said, you're talking about Call of Duty. How many people invested in the game by, take Call of Duty off the plate. Let's use Fortnite because it's an easier example.
No,
how many gamers
company
buy V-Bucks consistently? What if V-Bucks are a token? That's a perfect example of a game that has an economy. The gamers are there. They want to spend the money for the entertainment. We just got to tap into them.
That's the thing, you see. You need to. That's the loop, and where I kind of agree with you on Caged. By the way, I love the soccer idea. Is that's the difference between this and Web 2, Web 3, and Web 2 is the fact that you do have that ability to correlate game players, game value with people sort of leading into investment. Because look, all the Web 3 players, which we hope will expand over time, will look at the token and see if they can be part of the project. And if when you're giving a Web3 gamer the next FIFA or the next Call of Duty or the next Fortnite, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the next big thing, but they want to be a part of it. They want to be somebody that maybe has a share in it as a token holder. Obviously, holding tokens not only from that perspective is can be seen as an investment, yeah, absolutely. But like you said, Uncaged, It's you're buying V-Bucks just to use them in the game. So it's up to us as projects to make sure the utility's in there to kind of create those loopback and feedback mechanisms that kind of circle, create that circle effect where people are buying tokens to use in the game, to be entertained, pair it into that, and then at the same time loop that back into a token that's listed that can have value. And when you do that, you then bring in the other kind of investors too. So I don't think anyone's perfected it and got it 100% right now, but I don't think it's impossible to do. It's just a case of getting the right brains and the right people and the right balance to get it done. So yeah, I hear you, Investor B and Uncaged, and yeah, that's just our perspective.
Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, so I like what you said, Investor Bren, about looking at like the Call of Duty and looking at Fortnite. Those games have the players, and I often think about what is it going to take to get people into crypto gaming, and it's going to be one of those AAA games like a Fortnite or like a Call of Duty. And I'll kind of play devil's advocate with myself, looking at it alternatively, is are we going to see a Fortnite or Call of Duty style game in the next 12 to 16 months during this bull market? There's a chance that we don't. And there's a chance that we might not see it for another 5, 10 years, maybe. And maybe that is truly when we see crypto gaming really, really taking off. But the exciting thing is that all of the games that are out now and the game projects that are out now are going to be building that entire time from now till then. So by the time that we do get something like that, I hope we do get something like that during this bull market and get that traffic. But there's a chance we don't. But the upside to that is that everybody that's invested in now in these projects will reap all those rewards down the line. So great point about that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Investor Brand, do you have a side with that?
Yeah, I just want to touch on what Uncaged was saying, so I understand from the V-Bucks, etc. But V-Bucks has a specific price, and they do everything they can to keep those prices stable and avoid speculation. And it seems like new projects within the Web3 space are also trying to avoid speculation so it doesn't become a play to earn. And then, of course, that puts you in the point, if you're actively trying to avoid speculation, then that token becomes less interesting for speculation, which is a certain type of person that we're talking about, which is the investor. They are going for the speculation. So there is a conflict of interest there. So you'll have to choose, or you have to make two tokens, right? Which then brings us back into the situation of having the stock of Activision and the V-Bucks or whoever published Fortnite, right? Regardless from that, I will stop touching on that topic. I want to jump on the summer thing. While hearing everyone talk here and getting people into the ecosystem and looking at my own personal Twitter circle and people around me, I do notice indeed the whole clicking game, and it's really, really massively picking up. And also look at BongBot, how they have billions in revenue in just a few months' time. So what Telegram and I guess in a sense Ton is opening up, it's impressive. So I'm actually curious if that we might have a Ton/Telegram summer because these clicking games are exploding, and I'm seeing different types of projects jumping on it, not just clicking games but applications. Like there's this Web3 Flix. They're trying to be like a Netflix thing, which is also built into a Telegram bot. It is super accessible. With just a few commands, you can have your a wallet set up without even knowing what the hell a wallet is. And suddenly people are interacting with crypto just by doing a few chat commands like we were doing back in 20 years ago in IRC, right? So you just need to know how to type and how to use a chat window, and then you can actually interact with crypto. So that's really interesting to me, and it feels like it's getting some hype going. So I'm definitely interested to see how that ecosystem is going to evolve over the summer.
Chris, you're raising your hand. Go ahead.
Sure, thanks. For the games, I don't think that AAA games will be a driver in the next times. Just out of the simplicity that making a A game is hugely complex. Making a successful Web3 product is hugely complex. So why, if you combine both, it should be easier to do. And I believe that to move forward with the space itself, one of the key drivers will be simplicity. And as Investor just said, I think that the clicker games and the success of Telegram is not because Tom is the best system in any way. It's because they figured out how to be damn simple in the approach to onboard people. They say, hey, do here some clicks. Then the next thing is, hey, earn some points. Hey, you earn double, triple points if you invite your friends. And oh yeah, now you invited some friends and you got some points. Maybe convert them to tokens. And with the tokens, you can make money. And if you add tokens, then you actually maybe even can be an investor in the long term. So the way of how they onboard people is that they start with something that they like, do something fun with the boring time, and then slowly explaining them how to turn it into a Web3 investor. I mean, if you look at Hamster Combat, the whole thing is you are a CEO of exchange, and this is what you need to do. You need to have a KYC module, a KYB module. You need to expand to countries. They basically explain all the business models of an exchange to you in a game. And I believe that simplicity and gamified onboarding is one of the key requirements because crypto is inherently complex, and this is what the space needs to move forward. So if I would say what will be the biggest success, I look at the projects and how do they do something complex in the space, extremely simple for the users. And if I believe that this is actually the next level of simplicity, then I think that's a really interesting project to watch.
Interesting comments, Chris. Adam, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I love that the topic of Telegram games were brought up. But I didn't say during my intro, but I'm head of business development for Player Gaming Blockchain, and I mean we're a protocol for game developers to build on. So we're always looking at the new things to operate for crypto gaming, and so to prove that we were able to do it, we actually developed two Telegram games in house, and then we had an indie game developer develop a Telegram game. So we have those live. They're super fun. I'm amazed at how quickly you can spin up, and probably the most underrated thing about Telegram gaming is the way that ours works. Is you like there's no like when you play a game right now, usually you're logging into your wallet and then you're approving transactions and those go through your MetaMask or whatever. But in Telegram gaming, it all happens on the back end. So it's kind of the end goal for crypto gaming is for the user to not really know that they're using crypto in order for the game to work. It just happens on the back end, similar to like how the internet works. Like you don't really know how it works. It just works on the back end. And Telegram gaming is kind of just a little taste of what that is going to look like, where you can just play a Telegram game. The transactions are happening on the back end, and you as the user just see a fun little game that you can play. So really glad that you brought up Telegram gaming. Thank you.
I completely agree. I think right now in this time frame that we have, and what Adam has previously mentioned, it's that gaming at its best is ripe for the picking, right? It has been for the past couple of years been building and building, developing to something playable, something more interesting, and that's also something that these newcomers are, they're familiar about. And I think that those are one of the reasons that we should look at in terms of choosing a narrative. Like, if someone's going to come into a place, they're not going to understand, like staking and all that stuff. It's too much for, like, say, too much for non-native crypto trader or anything like that. When you look at it, they want a narrative that they can understand to invest their money in, and that's very easy to spot. Like, when people keep using ChatGPT, so they're, oh, AI, that's the next big thing. Gaming, I know that. I've been playing some games. That's probably the next big thing. So, or maybe RWA, but probably for me, RWA is still a little bit farther from the truth right there. So I'm actually personally been betting myself on AI and games for the fact and for the only reason that it's probably the narratives that non-crypto people know about and they can relate to, and I think that's where the money is going to come in. But before I go to my next question, I just want to give the floor to Kuz. He just joined us a few seconds ago. Could you please give us a short intro about you?
Yeah, hey guys. I'm Koos. I'm from Australia. I work for Early Fans, and they're a DApp on the Blast chain. They're in the social fi sphere, and yeah, I'm very interested to hear everyone's thoughts on the current altcoin market and DeFi as well. You know, altcoins have been bleeding pretty hard over the last month or so. So I'm interested to hear what everyone's thoughts are on that. And yeah, very happy to be here. And yeah, thanks, guys.
I had to do a double take. I had to pull
Yo,
up your
same here.
account.
I actually I'm looking at his account right now, and I thought he said
The
OnlyFans.
same thing. I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's from OnlyFans? What is going on? OnlyFans in crypto? Okay, I guess.
I mean, you have to find out. You can go into OnlyFans and you can figure out whether it's whether it's
I'm a
OnlyFans or
little scared
OnlyFans.
too. Is this family safe if I go to this?
Is what's the content like? I'm just asking for a friend.
No, trust. I mean, look, anyone can post what they want on OnlyFans, but it's not really targeted towards that sort of content. So,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's yeah.
not yet, or maybe no.
No,
For
well, I don't
It's
think
gonna
that's the
find
plan,
its
but
way in one way or another. It will find it.
yeah,
I don't think I'd be a very
yeah.
good content creator for that. I'm not going to lie.
For those not interested in type of content, there is a project like that on Solana.
There's a what is it?
There is a project, only one or something, which is indeed a little bit more spicy and a little closer to OnlyFans.
Okay.
How
No.
do you know that, sir? That's a bit concerning, even.
I think a friend told him, right?
Yes.
Anyway, guys, going back to the topic. Actually, but my next question is like, if the market does go sideways, like in major coins, like let's say Solana or ETH actually stabilize or go down slightly, do we think this will eventually set the stage for NFTs this summer to get pretty much their second push? And the reason I'm asking this is because all my NFTs are also pretty much down, and I would really love this summer to also be about NFTs. And if you guys think the same thing, I would love to get to know your opinions on that. Uncaged, what is this reaction? Why thumbs down?
I'm sorry. I'm right there with you. I've got a pretty big bag of NFTs, but I'm very dead set on this narrative that's going to be towards the end of this year, where you're going to see a lot of gamers coming in, spending money on entertainment, and they don't give a shit about it being crypto. And then you have the Web3 gamers who are going to be enjoying the influx of money from these Web2 gamers, and they will be the ones that take advantage of the Web3 side of these games. And when you have these games that can cater to both and make both happy, and I'm dead set that that's going to happen by the end of this year.
But do you think that if in this summer the game started to get a push, that NFTs is going to come along with it?
It depends. It depends on whether the NFTs have actual in-game utility. If they have actual in-game utility, then yes. Or if they're like NFTs for skins for cosmetics for games, then yes. Look at the market with CS:GO. Like, people care about skins. Gamers care. And when I say gamers, those are people who enjoy the skins and don't care about making money back. They want to spend money to get entertainment. And I think that's overlooked so often with games, that I get that Web3 wants to integrate, the token, this, that, and everything. But gamers, true gamers, are willing to spend stupid amounts of money on fun games that they get to. They'll spend the money for the entertainment. And we have to realize that, like, people, gamers out there, not everybody needs to make a profit in Web3 gaming. You have thousands and hundreds of thousands of gamers who will just spend money for the pure joy of playing a game.
And I think the dads who pay for their kids' skins are pretty much know this fact for spending money on them. So
I have
I
two
do
kids, and
agree.
both of them are sick gamers, and both of them play VR, and both of them play Roblox, and both of them play Fortnite, and they're always asking, Dad, can I buy V-Bucks? Dad, can I buy Shiny Rocks? Can I buy this? Can I buy that? Gamers will spend money. Web3 gamers are trying to make money. Got to think about that. Web3 gamers is 100,000 players. Web2 gamers is 100 million players.
Investor Bren, you've been raising your hand. Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I'll give some hopium on the NFTs, and then concerning the gaming topic, yeah, I think it's just a case of providing value, and some people want monetary value, the other ones want social value, and somebody else just wants the entertainment value. And indeed, in the classic gaming environment, it is social value and entertainment value that you're getting. And I think the whole world knows that people are willing to pay for bragging rights and social status, whether it's in a game. It doesn't even matter if it's in a game. Look at how much money people are spending on bags, clothing, cars. Same thing in gaming. You're in a social setting, and you can be different, and you can add quote unquote value through buying a skin. Then people are willing to pay for it. And maybe that's where some of the NFTs went wrong. If you're suddenly linking the utility of the NFT to a token that is being emitted, well, what the hell do you think is going to happen? People are going to calculate and say the token is worth this much, and I'm getting this much per month. And then suddenly you have a reference value for that NFT. So if the token goes down, the NFT goes down, because people just do the math. While if it's purely bragging rights, it actually has more potential. The more people that play the game, the more scarce it will be compared to the audience. So the value will continue to go up as long as the game is popular, which is a lot more interesting, right? And then when it comes to the NFTs, so yeah, I really hope, because just like like you guys, I'm holding a big bag of NFTs. It's all down. And I was really hoping last year that the little transition that we have from big market cap coins to lower, then finally to meme coins. When I saw the meme coins popping off, I was like, yes, let's stack up on some more NFTs, because the NFTs will be next. That, of course, didn't happen. But I do believe if the market gets a little bit boring, people will look for things to gamble with. And right now, I think a lot of people look at the dollar value of the NFTs. So if Ethereum and Solana are going up massively, their value, or they denominated value in ETH and Solana, the NFTs will go down, because a lot of people look at the dollar value. So if you bought NFTs as a way to stack up on the principal token, then yeah, you've been in a rough time. So hopefully, if those prices stabilize and the market doesn't completely tank over the summer, then I think we'll have a few months where people get bored from BTC, and they will look for something else. And because of the low liquidity of NFTs, things can move very fast. So fingers crossed that will happen in August. So maybe there is a little bit of hope there if the price gets boring.
Thank you for that. Chris, you go ahead. You're raising your hand.
Sure. Like, for any token, no matter if it's fungible or non-fungible, the key thing is where is value created from. And in a bull run, yes, you can create value just because it's a token and just because it's part of like a trend, like AI. We saw a lot of AI tokens popping up and riding the trend. But typically that's not for the long run. On the long run, you need something that creates value. And either it's because you have a great team that makes a really great product that makes returns, or you can generate culture out of the community. And that's, I think, where most of the NFTs are from, or that's the concept behind, that it's the culture that you want to be part of it. So you have a community of people who want to be in it, and therefore you need to own one of the NFTs, and that they contribute to the community and the community growth. And the more people are in and the more people are contributing to the cultural value, the higher the price of the NFT. If you have a lot of owners who are in there just for leeching the value, so basically they just wait until the NFT is growing and not actually active in the chat or not even in the Discord, then these are people that will reduce the value on the long run because they do not contribute anything. They want to just take value. And I think that, yes, NFTs can grow in the summer again. And the NFTs who have an active community and have an active exchange, no matter if it's a bull run or a bear market, they will do well. And those who just are in there for making money, then it's a question of is it strong enough, either the market or the community, that you can have a lot of leaders riding the way just to make money but not contributing anything.
Absolutely agree on that. Koos, do you have another comment on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to the whole like NFT thing. I noticed that last bull market NFTs were obviously pretty hot. They were like one of the hottest narratives of last cycle. And there was a lot of liquidity in NFTs. And now this cycle, it seems like there hasn't really been any liquidity in NFTs, and it's a lot harder for people who own the NFTs from last cycle to sell them, or if they are selling them, they're selling them for quite a loss. And I just think the meme coins and like the speculation and how people can just easily get in and out of meme coins, like it's super liquid, has taken away from a lot of NFTs, because a lot of NFTs last cycle were just speculation. If it wasn't utility and if there wasn't really like a super strong community, then it was just kind of speculation. But now people can speculate on social events like, you know, Trump or Biden or whatever it is, a celebrity who's just launched a coin. And, you know, with NFTs, you can buy into an NFT, but if there's not really any utility behind it, or if there's not like a super strong community, then what's the point of owning it? Because you might be stuck holding it for a while, and people's attention, it seems like this cycle has been, I don't know what's gone on, but it seems like this cycle, people's attention is just like completely dropped off a cliff. I don't know if that has anything to do with like TikTok or people just losing attention in general, but that's just what I've noticed. So I don't know if anyone has anything to add to that, but yeah.
Yeah, but that pretty much always happens, right? The moment like people stop looking at it, like because they feel like, if nothing's going on much, that's normally when things start picking up. That I've noticed, like when things are a bit, how would you say, not within our radar anymore, it's when, institutional, like, okay, it's time to pump it. I feel like I'm in a constant joke, honestly. Like every time I stop looking at it because it's so down, it goes up, and then you're like, why did I stop looking at it? And the cycle goes on, I feel like it's karma laughing at us at some point in our, I don't know, trading life, I would say.
Definitely, I agree with that. I've fallen subject to saying, yeah, I'm not going to look at this anymore, it's not doing anything, and then I go back a few weeks later and look at it and it's pumped already, or something's gone on. So yeah,
Yeah.
crypto always got to be on your toes.
Yeah, indeed. Investor Brand, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot my train of thought, so you can pick someone else.
Okay, Adam, go ahead.
Yeah, so agree with the NFT play. They got to have utility in the game. That was something that we made sure of for at least our games. But kind of as we close out here, something I wish somebody had told me back when I first got in 2017 was to be able to find the knowledge on where the current market cycle is. So whether you can't really decide if something is an altcoin summer or a DeFi summer without knowing the overarching style of the market and the 4-year cycle and Bitcoin halving and all of those key events, all of this other stuff kind of trickles into that. So if somebody's listening back to this, I just want to shout out a couple of resources that are super beneficial and kind of unbiased almost. And it gives you a more overarching understanding. I get nothing for this, by the way. I just follow these guys and I've been following them for years. So the first one's Benjamin Cohen. He puts out great quality content specifically about Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few other ones. He really tracks the market cycle based from a mathematical perspective. So Benjamin Cohen, he makes YouTube and Twitter. The other one is Plan B on Twitter. He also makes YouTube content as well. He publishes every month. He publishes one video at the first of the month. Just gives you an unbiased, based off of the numbers, where the cycle is, and it helps kind of filter out a lot of the other stuff that goes on. And I say this now because I should have listened to them before and followed what they're saying. But yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. Thanks.
Okay, Investor Brand, did you find your train of thought?
No, I lost the first one, but I want to jump on what Adam said, and I feel we have the probably exact same experience because I have the same plan that he has, looking at where you are in the cycle. But even then, I think you need to go through this to have any form of conviction. Because you can make any plan you want, but if you don't believe in it, you will not execute. And then, even though this is the third cycle for me, I am surprised that I'm still lacking that conviction, even in my own plan, where I say I'm going to just follow the cycle itself. Because if I would truly believe 100% that the cycle will play out, then I would have taken profits with this first push that we had at the end of last year. Because then we knew there was no new money coming in, and this was just a perfect opportunity for a quick push upwards to just take the money and then let the market settle down again before retail comes in. And being in that last bear year just before the halving year, it would be obvious that we would not go to new all-time highs in that year. So it would be pretty safe to take profits, and yet I didn't. So I'm going to be very cautious in me being 100% convinced that I'm going to follow the plan this time, because emotions are a bitch, and it takes some conviction to act upon this and not just get lost in all the hype. So to everyone, good luck.
Thank you. And yes, we all heard that everyone got wrecked. Koos, last but not least, go ahead.
Yeah, just to add to what Adam said, I completely agree with those two people. And another website that's great, if anyone's listening and hasn't heard of it, most people probably have, but it's DAP Radar. I use that to track the TVL and volume and unique active wallets as well on chains. And that's what I noticed when I got into meme coins quite early this cycle, is I saw the TVL and the volume through Solana and especially Radium was picking up a lot, and I was like, oh shit, something's going on here. So yeah, just thought I'd add that. It's a good tool to use.
Thank you so much, Koos. We finally are reaching the end, actually, of this spaces. So before we close, I want to give a shout out to our speakers today, and also to those who are listening to us for staying with us for an hour. And please don't forget to share some love to our speakers. Show them some retweet, perhaps a repost, a follow, or a like. We have Investor Brand, we have Divamon, we have Uncaged, we have Chris here from MC Squared, and then Koos here from Early Fans, Not Only Fans, Adam here from Player, and that's pretty much it, I guess. Next week, we have another spaces, and we'll discuss about market sentiments and whether the bull run is actually over. Again, I will link the URL in our spaces, so please follow us on there. I hope you guys have a great weekend ahead. Bullish or not bullish, I hope you also enjoy this song, and see you again next week, guys. Goodbye.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
Thanks, guys.